was born in Machakos. My parents were, poor civil servants and very little money. We lived in Kibera, Makina, in mud houses. I lived in a wooden shack, basically, a wooden shack with no cement, using a pit latrine and using a bathroom outside, unaweka gunia mbele, up to the age of 21. When I was in Form 2, I left school because I had no school fees.
Which school did you go to?
I went to Globetraktion High School.
From being a journalist to a filmmaker to a government spokesperson to a governor and right now the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, this man has seen it all. Hello and welcome to Globetraktion. My name is Persil Telewa. Today on the show, we talk about none other than Dr. Alfred Mutua, the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, who shares with us so much more, including the fact that he's been able to transition through various political regimes, his political life, his ambitions, and guess what? His love for his late grandmother. I hope you enjoyed Dr. Alfred Mutua's story.
Meet Alfred Nganga Mutua, a man of many talents, achievements and aspirations. Born on August 22nd, 1970, Alfred is a prominent Kenyan journalist and politician making waves in the corridors of power.
If we all decided to run a campaign to teach our people how to choose the right leaders for this country, not based on tribe, not based on the biggest thief in the room, you get my thinking. Are you with me? Don't you think we run a campaign for the next 3 years? The 2022 elections will elect better people who are going to make life better for our people. So mnipigia makofi, hiyo point mzuri.
Having served as the first governor of Machakos County for 2 terms from 2013 to 2017 and then from 2018 to 2022, Alfred's leadership was marked by transformation and progress. His dedication to public service and innovation policies led to him being ranked as the best performing governor in Kenya for 3 consecutive years. Before joining the government, Alfred excelled as a journalist both in Kenya and abroad, publishing his first story at just 15 years old. He founded the Maendeleo Chapchap Party, which has been making a significant impact on Kenya's political landscape since its establishment in 2016. Today, he serves as the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs under President William Ruto, a position that enables him to play a crucial role in shaping Kenya's international relations.
I, Alfred Nganga Mutua, being appointed a Cabinet Secretary of Kenya.
His commitment to healthcare and community development has earned him recognition and accolades, including being feted as the Best Governor of the Year at the Africa Illustrious Awards in 2021. It is for these reasons that he makes it to Globetraktion with his life story.
I think what is important is at least you remember all the work is done. Everything's done. Please,
thank you.
Kuna bushes up. At least people are planting trees.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
So nice
do you still, believe this is the best way to?
Please have a seat.
Thank you. How have you been?
I've been very well.
Yeah.
God has been very good to us. We are working every day, trying to get things in motion and getting this country to go where it's supposed to be.
Close to 1 year since you took office.
No, I took office in October. Still have some time to go, at least more than half a year now. So we're getting into the rhythm of things.
How has it been for you?
It's been quite interesting. I came from being a governor to being a CS. The duties are quite different. The responsibilities are quite different. And I came to the national government that is full of bureaucracy. We are full of very, very good people. Kenya has one of the best public service employees in the world.
Yeah. So how do you change the system? Because now you're talking about people coming in and they know people coming and go.
Because President William Ruto is not one to sit down and wait for results. He's one to be there to see the results being initiated.
Oh, I see.
So as a result of that, now we're getting more things that are done and achieved.
How does it, happen for you? Because you are used to being, the governor. You have your own way of doing things, and now you have to, follow bureaucracy. How do you find it?
I think you have to push. Two things. One, don't get caught up with petty issues. These human scale, huyu kosana na huyu, petty issues. Don't get. Look at the big picture.
Yeah.
So I don't get caught up with petty issues. If you see somebody has petty issues, not understanding, give them time. But relax. Itaingiana, because you can spend 95% of your time chasing petty issues. Number two, always support your staff. I always say that any person who is working for the government, any person working anywhere, they're human beings. When somebody is at work as a father, regardless of their rank, when they go home, maybe the person cleaning the doors, maybe the person holding the door for you, maybe the person writing briefs for you, maybe the person advising you. When they go home, it doesn't matter. They're the king of that house, they're the queen of that house. And their kids look up to them. So you're dealing with human beings, with families and people. Respect them and support them and let them grow. For me, what fills me with pleasure is when I see any person who is working within the same establishment go up. I'm one of pushing people up, not pulling them down.
Yeah.
Because mtu akipata promotion, apate pesa nyingi kidogo, anunulie watoto wake viatu, inakuasha nini? Inakuumiza na nini? Mtu akipata an extra stipend, apate ka bonus, inakuasha na nini? Unaelewa? You should be happy. It doesn't always have to be about you. It can be about the other person. So I've realized that don't repeat issues, support your staff, but also be organized. You see, organization is what made me succeed in Machakos. You have to know what you want to do, set deadlines, and focus. And
how do you find this current government? Because as much as you're talking about, your boss being Mutua and stuff like that, there are many other people who are talking, contrary to what you're saying. And more specifically about the cost of living right now.
Yeah, but you see, the cost of living is a result of the problems that you have. Let me tell you one thing. So, you have been misbehaving.
Mm-hmm.
You go out and drink every night. Okay? You go out and take drugs. You go out and party. You don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then it gets to a point now that you come back, you're being reformed, and they find that you've got liver cancer. They find that you've got family diseases. They find that your investments have gone, and now, you know what I mean? Because you've been misbehaving. The problems hazijaanza saa hii.
Zilianza kitambo.
So ukienda kwa daktari usemi ya kwamba nilipata liver cancer kwa sababu nilikunywa kitu jana. It's a problem that has been there. So this cost of living problem that you're facing now is a problem that started 5 years ago. So what you're facing is a result of that problem. When President Mwai Kibaki became president, he found an economy that was dissipating. What did he do? He started an economic recovery program, that was well put by Robert, the late David Nalo and Professor Nyanyo, Minister of Planning at the time. And I was government spokesperson. And Ambassador Francis Mudhara was head of public service. And we sat down and Mwai Kibaki said, we want to initiate this. At that time, if you remember Kenyans, we are very optimistic, but the economy was in shambles. It took us three years to start recovering. William Ruto has also found an economy that is in shambles. Things are bad, lack of money, high debt, high cost of living and all that. I mean, unga ilikuwa 230 by the time we're doing the elections. Now unga has come down to 170. You know what I mean? Things are improving. But it will take 2 to 3 years to get back into the railway tracks of where we're supposed to be. But you know where we'll get back? Because William Samoei Ruto has a plan. Things will get
as
better.
A foreign,
Minister?
Foreign affairs, minister, don't you think that is bad image, to the rest of the countries that look up to us, countries that are, happy to have us, to see us where we are right now? Because you saw what happened a few days ago when all that was going down. Yeah.
You know what happens is this, people are very smart. And let me tell you, every single day, I get letters into my office.
Yeah.
They're called non-verbals, requesting two things. Either for head of state, a foreign minister, or a minister to come to Kenya, or inviting myself or President William Ruto to go to their country. Kenya right now is on high demand. Why? Because we're able to show that we support democracy. We're able to show that we are Pan-Africanists. The language you were talking about is about the development of the people and environment. We're able to show that we care about climate and others. We've taken a particular lead in the world because of the sentiments of President William Ruto and the stand that we have as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And so, right now, very popular. People know. When people see demonstrations and all those things, there were just demonstrations the other day in France, in Germany, there were demonstrations when we were there. Actually, there was a strike of the railway line when we were in Germany last time. And they were about the cost of living going up because of the cutting of the energy sources from Russia due to Ukraine war, And there were upheaval, people were demonstrating in London. Last time I was in London, I had to wait for people demonstrating.
Also on strike.
I mean, this is a discussion that is all over the world because of different conditions.
Have you had people ask you, is it safe right now to come to your country with what we are seeing?
Let me tell you, what are we here? People have moved on. People are coming to Kenya in droves. Nobody has cancelled their tickets. Right now, we are here with 50 ministers from 55 African countries, and their representatives are right here in Kenya. They didn't care about the demonstrations. They got into their planes and they came to Kenya. They have come for an AU summit where? In Nairobi, Kenya. People are looking at it and saying, forget that. It will have a long-term effect, it may have a short-term effect, maybe on a few investors who may think, let us wait. And so what will happen is that the investors will still come, but they may hold their horses kidogo because a small wait and see.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that much effect because people are now starting to see through the games.
I'm surprised. Just the other day we had the Iranian representative.
Yes, the Iranian president,
Yes, come to the country. And I hear that a state visit needs to take 3 days. They just stayed for a day. Tell me, how was it and what was it about? Besides what we had in the media.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The Iranians had planned to come to Kenya for a long time. They're on a very, very tight schedule. And the reason they have a tight schedule is that this is the first visit to Africa by the Iranian president, President Rais. And he chose to come to Kenya as a first entry point. He had never been, when he stepped down, when I met him at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, that was the first time in his life he was stepping into the continent of Africa. And he started with Kenya. But they also had other programs that were going on in their country that were delaying their programs for several days. And so we were also adjusting to their calendar. Their initial idea was to come. And there's nothing written anywhere that says the head of state have to stay for 2, 3, 5 days for it to be considered to be a state visit. No. It is what you discuss. It is not the show. It is not hanging around for a day or two doing nothing that makes a state visit. It is what you are able to achieve. And so we worked in the background for many things. He was able to come. He was able to initiate. We had for the first time meetings very early at State House. Everybody was fresh. They had a very long tete-a-tete with the president. They were to sit down. We worked on development projects, what we're doing. Do you know that Iran is our largest tea, buyer in that region? They are one of our largest tea buyers. If Iran today shut their doors for Kenyan tea, you find a lot of farmers here crying. They will not be able to take their kids to school. They buy our tea. They buy our products. They want Kenyan products to go to Iran. Now we signed a deal with them that our livestock, ng'ombe zetu, nyama zetu, they eat meat. Our meat is halal. They want Kenyan livestock. What does that mean? That's more money coming to the Kenyan farmer who has livestock. Now ng'ombe zetu wala kuzurura kuzikivuka barabara ya Mombasa highway once in a while, tunazipeleka wapi? Huko.
So at least nyama imeongezeka.
They'll get nyama itaongezeka, we'll get more money. They're looking at issues of training.
Yeah.
Do you know that they have one of the most robust pharmaceutical system in the world? They make very good medicines and they're coming to establish. They are manufacturing their own vehicles. They're opening up a plant in Mombasa. And that are the things that we discussed about, which will employ thousands of Kenyan children.
As a country also, we could be able to do that.
Exactly, and that's what we're getting. You see, our education system, our Kenyan system for a long time has been one based on importation and being consumers. We've not been producers. And that's a discussion we have even here at the AU about Kenya and about Africans being consumers. For example, I saw you talking on your phone before the interview started. It's a very beautiful phone. I have a good phone too. Many people have phones. Do you know that all the raw material that makes the phone work comes from Africa? Nowhere else in the world, continent of Africa. But do you know, in the country of Africa, not a single African country manufactures a phone.
Manufactures a phone, yeah.
We all buy phone. They take the material, they manufacture, they sell back to us. So we are changing the way things are done. When President William Ruto says we have a plan for technical training colleges, the TVETs, it's because we want to move them from just education of theory to education of theory that is made practical for people who can now start producing. So we can produce our own computers from zero, our own watches, our own shoes, our own toothpicks that we import. We go back to that mentality of production, our own cars, our own aeroplanes. That's where we are getting as a country. That's when we say we have a plan. So the opening factories, we signed an agreement on agriculture, agreement on ICT, agreement of tourism. Iranians travel all over the world. They have money. They have a lot of money that they go all over the world, but they don't come to Kenya because we've not been able to market Kenya in their country.
Now that we are talking about that, I would like to know the Ministry of Foreign Affairs
Yes.
and Diaspora. What is going on? Because we don't know who is in charge of, the foreign relations anymore. When he goes out, when he does those, different country visits, does he go with you? What happens? Who is in charge?
You see, the way the foreign missions work is this way. As the Minister for Foreign Affairs, we set up all these visits and everything that the president needs to go to. But one of the most sought after ministers in the world is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We have all these obligatory meetings that I need to attend on behalf of the Republic of Kenya that can only be attended to or attended by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, no other minister. Some of these summits you're seeing here, some of the international summits at the UN, some of the other peace summits across the world that we attend. But when the president travels to many of these meetings, I'm with him in these countries because we're expounding, I meet my colleagues, we have bilaterals and everything. But once in a while, you'll find that some meetings that he's going to, I'm not able to attend, not because I'm hanging around, but because I'm in another session also representing Kenya's interests. So, you know what I mean? That's how it works. So it's basically called division of labor. You come highly, but we talk, we set up everything for him.
So tell me about you.
I think the best way of talking about myself is to say I'm a child of God.
Praise Jesus.
Amen. And I'm a walking miracle. I grew up very poor. Was born in Machakos. My parents were, poor civil servants and very little money. We lived in Kibera, Makina, in mud houses. Lived in Kangware, Ruta satellite area. I lived in a wooden shack, basically. A wooden shack with no cement, using a pit latrine and using a bathroom outside there, unaweka gunia mbele, up to the age of 21. When I was in Form 2, I left school because I had no school fees.
Which school did you go to?
I went to Globetraktion High School. I went to Toy Primary School, Globetraktion High School. Mm-hmm. And because God loves me and the work I did, Mzee wa Kanisa of Ruta Baptist Church called Hezron Oidhaka, the later paid for my school fees all the way from 6. After the Globetraktion, I went to Jamhuri High School for my A levels. God sent a miracle. I got sponsors who came and saw my work that I was doing, very being chap in church and everything. And I got a scholarship to go to the US, where I went and studied and worked very hard. People used to laugh at me. They say, oh, uko America, your parents are suffering, they have no money. No, uko America. Because I was studying. In the US, they don't allow you to work. Were you the only child?
No, tell me about your family, your siblings.
I have siblings. I have my sister. I have a small brother. And I mean, it was a struggle. But I concentrated on working. I realized if I do what other Kenyans do, they go out and drop out of school. You're not in school. You're not studying. You don't get a degree. You go nowhere. So I told my parents, I may not have money to send to you because I'm struggling to get school fees paid and everything, but let me finish my education. My parents had said, finish your education.
That is why you are in the
finish
US.
Your education, and that's why I'm here today.
Yeah. What did you study?
Because I was able to complete, I did a degree in journalism.
Yeah.
And I did a Masters of Science in Communication and Media, and I got a full scholarship to do a doctorate in Communication and Media in Sydney, Australia. So I went through the whole thing, and as a result of saying that, my parents are very comfortable. I was able to build my parents a nice big house that they live in, be able to take care of my siblings. I'm able to do things that I couldn't have done if I dropped out of school. And or trying to run out of this country, and God has blessed me. And so as a result of that, I feel that my calling, I feel lucky. So my calling is to make the life of others better. if I can get you an opportunity to go and work overseas, if I can get a job, you have your opportunity to get financing for your work, that fills me with pleasure, because I feel that's a duty that God has given me to make the life of every Kenyan better, because I'm just lucky. I could have been otherwise, but God chose me for a purpose, and I feel my purpose is to make the life of others better. And so that's what I do. That's my main thing. That's why I focus on the core agenda that we've been given by our president, because at the end of the day, following the plan, making life better for Kenyans.
What has been your downest moment ever in your life? The lowest moment?
I don't know. I think when I lost my grandmother, that hit me. I lost my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, a while back, several years ago, and I think that was very difficult. We were very close since I was a child, and we became so close that people used to worry how I will react when she passes away.
Yeah.
Because we were very close. Mm-hmm. And then she became very sick. Took her to hospital, and then she was in hospital, and the problem that when she passed away, because I was government spokesman at the time, so they thought, let them call me. I'm the person who people feared who would tell me if she died. But the hospital called me, tell me she has died. I remember I was washing my car, I just sat down.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. So, that was because, and I think that death is very permanent.
I can see your eyes are tearing.
Yeah, because death is very permanent. Because once you go, you don't come back. And that is why it behoves all of us in this world to make life easier for everyone else. Because once they check out, they never come back. That is why I don't understand when people are rude to each other, when people are arrogant to each other, when people try to push each other down.
Disrespectful.
Because that's a person's life. That person needs to live a good life.
And you need to be kind to them.
Because when they go, they'll never come back. They never come back. And I remember there's a song in Tanzania called Zuena, not the current Zuena by Diamond, that talks about this person who had this person who had got a call that had on the radio that there was an accident on Salenda Bridge in Dar es Salaam. And someone niliondoka, kichwa, mikono kichwani, huku ni nalia, nikienda hospitali kuangalia kama mpenzi wangu Zuena yuko hai amesha kufa. And if you look at that album, the next song is called Kuomba Rufaa, Kata Rufaa, where the person says, I am pleading to God to allow me to file an appeal for him to return my loved one.
Oh, I see.
Life, death does not have an appeal. When somebody dies, they are gone forever. We cannot file an appeal for them to come back. Yeah. What does that mean? It means that you need to love your people when they're still alive. You need to care about your people when they're still alive. You need to take care of each other and still alive. Because when somebody is gone, it's too late. And so that was one of the low points of my life. But I'm very optimistic. I'm a very happy person. I look at life in a very optimistic manner. And I feel blessed. I'm very happy. And as long as my kids grow up to be very astute people who love each other and who love the world and help the world, then I'm at peace.
Did you know that Dr. Alfred Mutua grew up in Makina and Dagoretti? You learned something, right? Many thanks for watching the show today. I hope to catch up with you again next Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time, only on KTN News. And if you have a story you'd like to share with us, don't hesitate. Give us a write through Globetraktion at standardmedia.co.ke or DM us on our social media platforms at Globetraktion or at KTN News KE. You can also follow me on my social media platforms at Persil Telewa on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for more of behind the scenes and many other stories. But until then, I hope to catch up with you again next time, same place, same time. Bye-bye for now.